Coming up next on Making Moves, just how dangerous is it to walk or bike in Jacksonville? We have the results of a new report. JTA's Wellness on Wheels buses, made famous during the COVID-19 pandemic, are back in business. This time, it's all about stroke prevention. We'll tell you how changes on 2 of JTA's First Coast Flyer routes will impact riders. Football fans tell us why they choose to ride the Game Day Express to the stadium and why you should get on board. And we'll take a look at JTA's prolific internship program and show you why dozens of college students seek out opportunities each year to learn from the JTA team. These stories and more right now on an all-new Making Moves. Hello and welcome to Making Moves. I'm Bill Milnes. Thanks for joining us today. For more than a decade, we've been telling you the results of the Dangerous by Design study issued every 2 years by Smart Growth America. And every 2 years, we have to tell you that Jacksonville is one of the worst cities in the nation for pedestrian fatalities, always among the top 10 worst cities, landing as high as 3rd worst. But not this year. This year, Jacksonville dropped 11 spots to 15th. One of only 2 cities that improved. Here now is a look at Jacksonville's record over the past 15 years in the area of pedestrian fatalities. As you can see in this graphic, from 2009 to 2019, Jacksonville was never better than 6th worst metro area in the country for pedestrian fatalities in the U.S., finishing as high as 3rd on 2 separate occasions. In the 2024 Dangerous by Design report, Jacksonville came in number 15. Its best performance over the entire decade and a half. Jacksonville and Palm Bay, Melbourne were the only metro areas that showed a decrease. While that sounds like a huge positive, researchers say that Jacksonville's decrease was due entirely to its population growth. The actual number of fatalities increased, reaching 274 over a 5-year period between 2018 and 2022. That's 14 more deaths than the previous 5 years. So the question now is, what can be done to reduce or eliminate those pedestrian injuries and fatalities in Jacksonville? Well, the answer might just be a new ambitious plan called Vision Zero. Here's Making Moves correspondent Vicky Gutierrez with more.
Some may call it ambitious.
That is the very tall and aggressive goal to eliminate pedestrian fatalities and injuries due to automobiles and collisions.
But these leaders say it's vital.
Let's no longer accept that this is part of Jacksonville's legacy, is that we have one of the worst records for pedestrian and cyclist injuries and fatalities.
So in order to change that legacy, the Jacksonville Transportation Authority is partnering with the city of Jacksonville in establishing Vision Zero. That vision is to eliminate pedestrian injuries and fatalities in this city.
It's a huge issue that we need to deal with, so trying to attack that, do a targeted approach and fix our roads to make it safer for people.
This Vision Zero gathering is one of many agencies and leaders, each with the ability to play an important role in turning the tide for the city and making safer conditions for those who travel by foot.
I'm happy to see the leadership. We saw Nat Ford from JTA, the mayor delivered an address, the planning director is here. So the fact that the top brass in our city is showing up and giving this issue attention gives me hope that positive change is coming.
So what role does JTA play in Vision Zero? For one, access to valuable data and research.
We're able to use the data that we find. We have hotspots mapped that are serious injuries and fatalities in correlation with our bus stops and bus routes. We can use targeted strategies in those specific locations to make different moves.
But JTA is doing more than just contributing data. CEO Nat Ford says the authority is also working to improve infrastructure for bicyclists and pedestrians, which can be seen in its many projects throughout the city.
In every one of those projects, for example, we put in modern, appropriately designed sidewalks. We put in crosswalks. We put in bike lanes to ensure the separation between automobiles and bicyclists. So we have a very important role along with the city in terms of the planning, the design, and construction of transportation infrastructure in the city.
In the end, leaders agree. Vision Zero can't be executed solely by the JTA, the city, or any other entity.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. It's kind of the same thing. We're not going to get to a safe place without all of these agencies working together.
Rather, it will take intentional and continual collaboration.
Enforcement, public transit, land use, it all kinds of comes together. You can't just mandate safe streets. It's the end result of all those decisions.
And many are optimistic that this gathering will be the first of many toward a much safer and pedestrian-friendly Jacksonville.
This is, the first of a lot of engagements that we're going to have around this topic. We hope that people will pay attention and that we will use this as a springboard to implement things.
Just think about it. Imagine having a community where a grandmother can, with her 9-year-old grandchild, could safely walk and bike in our community with no fear of being hurt or injured.
And just to reiterate, this gathering was truly collaborative in nature, with representatives from the city level all the way to the federal level with the Federal Department of Transportation. In downtown, Vicki Gutierrez, JTA, Making Moves.
The push is on to give Jacksonville citizens more places to walk and bike away from the dangers of the city's roadways.
We still have a lot of work ahead of us because even one pedestrian death is too many.
The problem of pedestrian fatalities is not just a Jacksonville issue. Cities across the South and out west dominate the landscape when it comes to this troubling problem. A look at the 20 worst metro areas for pedestrian deaths illustrates the most dangerous places to be a pedestrian in this country. Florida, as it has since the Dangerous by Design reports began back in 2009, dominates the list again, with 8 cities in the top 20. The Daytona metro area, encompassing Deltona and Ormond Beach, was tied for 5th worst with Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tampa metro, including St. Petersburg and Clearwater, was 8th. Palm Bay and Melbourne, 11th. The Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Pompano Beach metro area was 14th. Cape Coral and Fort Myers, Sarasota and Bradenton, and Orlando, Kissimmee, and Sanford finished at 16th, 17th, and 18th worst, respectively, on the 2024 report. As for the overall worst city in the nation for pedestrian deaths, that dubious title goes to Memphis, Tennessee, with 343 fatalities in just 5 years.
Jacksonville is becoming a more mobile city. From the Fuller Warren pedestrian bridge to the Emerald Trail, infrastructure is being put in place to encourage more walking, more running, and more biking. We see it in the numbers, too. More than 80,000 people traveled over the Fuller Warren in its first 4 months.
That effort will definitely help keep people who are walking and biking recreationally safer. For the thousands of people who must cross a busy street, either on foot or on their bike, dangers still exist. One safety measure now being deployed on busy streets throughout Jacksonville are these high visibility flashing beacons. Installed by the city and Florida DOT, these beacons alert motorists that pedestrians need to cross the street and giving them the right of way to cross. The city is installing road diets like here on Park Street in Brooklyn, where the number and/or width of travel lanes of the road is reduced. This technique, along with mid-block crossings, slows down traffic, significantly reducing crashes. Bike lanes, wider sidewalks, and talking crosswalk signs also protect both pedestrians and bicyclists. It's clear that danger still exists for pedestrians and bicyclists here in Jacksonville. Distracted drivers bear much of the blame, but so too do those who are most in danger. Not using the crosswalk or crossing with your head buried in your phone is a sure way to become a statistic. Bicyclists must obey the rules of the road as if they were a motor vehicle, and drivers are required to give them a minimum of 3 feet clearance when passing. Keeping our fellow citizens safe is not difficult, but it does take some effort on everyone's part. If anything, Vision Zero is a call to action to everyone. So let's act safely, whether we're driving, walking, or riding our bikes. You may recall during the pandemic, the JTA retrofitted 2 of its buses into mobile vaccination clinics it called Wellness on Wheels. The award-winning partnership with Agape Family Health even got a shout-out from U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg for the creative way it helped keep our community healthy and safe from the COVID-19 virus. Well, the pandemic is gone, but Wellness on Wheels is returning, this time partnering with Baptist Hospital to help prevent strokes.
Baptist Medical Center has joined forces with JTA with the wellness bus. JTA has been so kind to donate a bus where we can reach out to the community. We're also working very closely with the Blue Zones project in Jacksonville. And today we're here at the Community First Wellness Day to offer medical screening for patients.
Today is all about wellness. It's about inviting members from this community, the 32208 community especially, to come out to talk about wellness and how, partnering with Blue Zones can help, benefit in a lot of different ways, from healthy living, making healthy choices, and doing our part to serve the overall Jacksonville community.
Because food is love, and today we're presenting a traditional dinner that you would say, is this vegan? There's no way, but it is. So you're enjoying your traditional foods that is not hurting your body, but actually helping heal your body. So if you have high cholesterol, blood pressure, you're going through chemo, you're healing from anything, you can enjoy anything off my menu.
The goal with Baptist Medical Center in our stroke program is to go out within the community, discuss with them the most common risk factors of stroke, also be able to test your blood pressure, test your cholesterol levels, your hemoglobin A1C, which gives you an average of the blood sugars in your bloodstream for the past 3 months. And by this, we're able to show patients if they're at risk for stroke, what are the most common signs of stroke, so they can learn about this, share it with their family and friends that maybe we're not able to come out today and get this information. But our goal is to spread awareness, spread education, and give them access to the healthcare that they may not be getting. JTA is a well-known transportation company here within the city of Jacksonville, and I think it's important to have this partnership. Baptist is a medical center. We have different campuses throughout Jacksonville, but everyone knows JTA. Everyone recognizes the JTA bus. And it also shows you how much JTA cares about the community of Jacksonville. How big is it that you have a huge transportation company, the main transportation company in the city of Jacksonville, that not only does transportation, but they're connecting you to different areas that you may not have access to. And then joining forces with Baptist, we're also able to connect with the different communities that otherwise may not have access to our care. And then sometimes reaching out to them and talking a little bit one-on-one with them without this pressure of being in a hospital or being in a clinic is very important. Not everybody has access. Everyone knows the major hospital systems in the city of Jacksonville. Everybody knows that there's clinics everywhere, but not everyone has the capability to go there and seek help. So we're hoping that by coming into the community, speaking one-on-one with them, kind of getting to know them, they will feel more comfortable, will seek the care that they need. Being able to be seated inside with the AC is very comfortable. We have chairs that are provided, we have tables, we are able to come set up different centers. So we're able to provide these little services in a very comfortable space. So I think it's well received by the community. We are so grateful for what has been afforded to us. And we're able to get the job done. I think it's important to spread awareness and education for stroke. What are the common risk factors of stroke? What are the most common signs and symptoms of stroke? Because it's very common to think that stroke only affects the older population, but we're seeing time and time again the younger generation being affected. So we want to make sure that we reach out to everyone, not just a population of a certain age or a certain demographic, because a stroke does not recognize your age, does not recognize your race or anything. So we want to make sure that we educate, we raise awareness, and that people are able to spread the word, especially to those that we can't reach.
Here at Community First, our purpose is to help members live their best lives. And what better way to embrace that purpose by making sure that we're here in the community and we're doing our part to help the Jacksonville community live their best life.
Our goal is to keep you out of the hospital, keep you healthy and safe, and be able to live the life to the fullest.
Still to come on the season 16 finale of Making Moves, changes are coming to JTA's First Coast Flyer routes and what it means for you. Football fans tell us why they choose to ride the Game Day Express to the stadium and why you should get on board. Then later, we'll take a look at JTA's prolific internship program and show you why dozens of college students seek out opportunities to learn from the JTA team. These stories still to come when this episode of Making Moves continues.
Sometimes in life, in order to move forward, it helps to look back.
To learn from the pioneers and trailblazers.
To gain inspiration from those who came before us.
To show us what it means to act with empathy and to show that love has no labels.
Join WWE and Love Has No Labels throughout the year in celebrating people from all communities and heritages.
Because when love has no labels,
that's a love we can all fight for.
You're watching Making Moves, the most honored transportation news and information program of its kind in the country.
Welcome back to Making Moves. If you live or work in the Brooklyn area and like to go out for lunch, a new travel option is coming your way. JTA has launched an autonomous Brooklyn lunch shuttle. That means no driver. The vehicle, an EV Star by Green Power, will shuttle you from various locations along the Riverside Avenue corridor to your favorite Brooklyn lunch spot. The Brooklyn Lunch Shuttle will make a loop every 15 minutes between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday to introduce you to autonomous technology that will be operating in downtown starting next summer. The EV Star will have a pickup and drop off at 8 locations, accessing more than a dozen eateries along Riverside Avenue. The vehicle will drive itself, but an attendant will be on board to answer questions about the technology. The EV Star is the nation's first zero-emissions, Buy America ADA-compliant vehicle of its kind to be fully autonomous. The Brooklyn Lunchtime service will run through October 25th. With bus operator staffing back at pre-pandemic levels and ridership continuing to grow, JTA is making adjustments to several bus schedules, including 2 of the First Coast Flyer routes. Riders on the Flyer's blue and green lines will now see frequency increase to every 15 minutes on weekdays between 6 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. On Saturday and Sunday, the Flyer will run every 30 minutes. In addition to the blue and green line frequency increases, 3 fixed routes will also see improved frequency during the week. These routes are the 3, 19, and the 53. There are 11 fixed routes that will see time changes on weekday routes. Saturday, 7 routes will see updated schedules, while on Sunday, we'll have 6 routes with changes. Here's a look at all of the routes that have time point changes. Make sure to see the new schedules for the updated arrival times for your particular route. Since 1995, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been entertaining football fans on the First Coast. This month, season 30 kicks off with big hopes and dreams for the playoffs for both players, coaches, and fans alike. One thing you won't have to worry about is how to get to the stadium. JTA has that covered. The JTA's Game Day Express Stadium Shuttle transports thousands of football fans each week to Everbank Stadium to watch their team take on the NFL's best. Fans are picked up at any one of 5 locations throughout the city, including the authority's Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Fans tell us it's the best way to get to the stadium.
It's easier to get to the game and I don't have to worry about parking. That's why I choose Game Day Express.
I don't want to deal with parking at the stadium. This is so convenient. This is amazing. Drops me off right where I need to be dropped off, picks me up where I need to be picked up. It drops us right at the seats. We have to walk 5 minutes to get to our seats.
It's convenient, it's safe, and it's where we want to be.
It's more affordable. Affordable? Don't have to pay for parking? Like, what reason would I drive? Honestly,
hey, don't
give me
tell
a
lot of
reason.
people about this because
Yeah,
I don't want there to be a line.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about this. This is a secret.
You park right there. That's how close it is. And you jump on the bus. And you get there, you come right back here. Less than 5 minutes from where you park to the bus.
Go Jacks!
Hey, go Jaguars!
The Game Day Express operates 2 hours prior to kickoff and stops 1 hour after the game ends. Single game tickets are available starting at just $10, and you can find them exclusively on the free MyJTA mobile app. When you think of JTA, more often than not, you'll likely think about buses. After all, bus transportation is the mainstay of what the JTA does every day of the year. But behind the scenes, JTA is people doing every job imaginable, from payroll, maintenance, planning, engineering, and marketing to human resources and more. That job diversity is one reason JTA has such a very robust internship program. It can offer a look into a multitude of careers. This year alone, more than 50 current college students and graduates from across the country spent their summers learning from the JTA and doing actual work in their field of choice. Making Moves senior editor Jeffrey Leeser gives us an up-close look at JTA's 2024 interns and their journey toward prosperous new careers.
This year, our interns were a lot more focused. The interns that we were able to recruit, we were recruiting those that really knew what they wanted to do within their employment or their career path after graduation. And so because of that, it just seemed as if they were a lot more mindful, a lot more intuitive within the departments, really eager to learn more about the industries in which they want to pursue.
Coming into the internship, or like just even before applying, transportation is just fixed route. But there is, after coming to the internship, the first few weeks, I got to work with alternative services, seeing all the different services that JTA has to provide. It gave me a holistic view of what the transportation industry has to offer.
My dreams of when I graduate college is to work in urban planning, urban sustainability, and just kind of overall just helping people out and our environment to become a greener place. I got the internship here and I thought it was great. I love the idea of public transportation because it's so much more effective than having everyone be in their own car. It cuts down so many carbon emissions, just overall just helps the environment so much. And so when I got it, I was like, this is a really great fit for what I want to do in the future, and it's really gonna help me in my career goals.
What I wasn't expecting is this cool photo shoot we did. I teamed up with Jeff and he got a bus for me. I got in touch with a few interns and we did a photo shoot for the college program. After I did that, I really, made up my mind. It's like something that I want to do. And I did it, and when I did it, it just gave me a confidence boost. It showed me that I can do it.
They've all been so kind and then, also just inspiring and have guided me a lot towards figuring out what I want to do with my life, especially my manager, Mary Smith, the VP of People and Culture. She's been a great mentor for me, not just in terms of getting my work done here at JTA, but also she's, kind of giving me tips and advice on what I should do.
They really asked those questions. They really wanted to learn more. They did not want to be your typical, let me get your coffee, let me print your papers, let me file your files. They wanted to know the ins and outs of the career path in which they were pursuing.
I was able to work on an outreach project that allowed me to go to public high schools and kind of teach them about how to ride using JTA. Talking to them about the app and ways to ride, I created a game where they could go to 4 different locations and they had a set budget. So I kind of put numbers into it to where they had to really think on how could they get to where they need to go with a set budget, and then looking into the different types of transportation they could use.
I got to sit on the hurricane tabletop, so I got to evaluate that and see how all the different branches of the JTA work together to support each other during the hurricane. There's also drug and alcohol, there is fixed route safety, bus safety, safety at the ferry. I get to go on inspections for the Skyway stations and suspicious package drop-in the other week, so that was fun to do. Just to make sure that everyone knows what to do in the event there is actually a suspicious package or a suspicious bag is left unattended. We would drop a bag or just leave something unattended and see how everyone reacts.
Having not been a Jacksonville native, I think it was good to learn more about the city of Jacksonville, but also what JTA does for the community. And it all really stuck around with me, so I applied to the internship program. All of the interns are from different backgrounds, different experiences, different majors, and so it was really cool to be assigned tasks as a group and be able to delegate roles for each person. I think everyone in the end got to know each other better, and we all were able to work on projects simultaneously while utilizing everyone's strengths.
Build it more, make it more robust, make it more life-changing for our interns. We want them to be employees. We want them to take the opportunity to enhance our services, not shy away from telling your knowledge, because we want to know. I would like to have a holistic internship program that not only feeds within the degrees and higher learning, but also within our trade.
I didn't think I would have so much independence and I really liked that. I was the only intern in the service planning department, and I kind of expected it to be a thing where they were gonna hold my hand along the way and be very much like over my shoulder and being like, oh, I hope the intern doesn't mess anything up. When I was given a project, it was pretty much like, okay, we expect this to be done in a few days, and I didn't really expect that much freedom and independence in the workplace. Like, I felt like I was part of the team, not just there to watch.
First coming to it, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm just an intern. But then like, I know the first week during orientation, we got to meet the CEO. And I was like, oh, he seems like a really cool guy. He has really good values and all of that. And then being able to speak to him in a professional setting and like also presenting to him, I think that's really cool because it just shows how, like, what an impact an intern has and what values we as interns bring to the company.
You want to get out your shell, this is definitely the internship to do. It'll help you become versatile, it'll help you learn, it'll help you pick up communication skills. Just be a better person all around. Because everything you want to do, JTA has something. They have something for you.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think I'd be doing as much work as I have been. And then going throughout my department, learning about the different areas that tie into revenue, such as grants, treasury, everything like that. That was pretty interesting, and I was excited to start working in that area.
I didn't think maybe that there would be a whole lot of impact that I can make, but after the internship, I definitely realized like the impact that I made on the Skyway is gonna last for like years to come, and it makes me very proud.
We take these interns, we take these students, and we sit with them and we talk with them and say, what is it that you want to do in your career? Because it's not just about onboarding and just becoming a part of an organization, but we want to help you grow professionally. We don't just put them in the departments and they do the work. We have workshops on emotional intelligence. We have workshops on good spending habits, financial literacy. So it's more than just doing the work. We want to tap into the personal part of them and help them grow personally, because if you help them grow personally, they will grow professionally.
Finally, a look ahead to our Season 17 premiere coming on October 1st. 10 years ago, JTA launched this transformative route optimization initiative. It changed transportation in Jacksonville like never before. Now JTA is at it again with its new Moving Forward plan. And how JTA CEO Nat Ford's persistence is revolutionizing transportation in a whole new way that will alter transportation landscape in Jacksonville and across the country. Those stories and lots more on the Season 17 premiere, and that starts October 1st. And that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. We thank you for joining us and hope you'll tune in again soon as we continue to bring you the latest transportation news, economic development, and all things JTA. Now, if you want to watch any of our shows again or catch up on ones you may have missed, we welcome you to check out our YouTube channel. A direct link to our YouTube page is available at jtafla.com. Just click on the icon at the bottom of the page. I'm Bill Milnes for everyone here at Making Moves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time when we kick off Season 17 of Making Moves.